Hello, this is a brief tutorial on creating shadows and highlights on vector graphics to help give them a little bit more depth. And there's a few different ways of doing this, but this is just one of them that I enjoy using. So what I've got here is a circle that's just a fill and there's no stroke on it. I pressed this button and I got rid of the stroke because I like using no strokes in my designs and implying the lines. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this circle and I'm going to do Control C and then I'm going to hit Control F. Now what that does is even though it looks like there's only one circle here now, I actually have two. Control F pastes what I copied right on top of itself. And now I'm going to do Control Z to put that back. And then I'm going to do Control F again so I have two circles on top. Now the reason why I do this is using the shape builder tool, which is what we're going to be using, it is destructive and I want to still have my original circle. So even though you can do Control Z, let's say I did something and then I'm really far down the line, I wanted to go back and do it again. This makes it so that way I still have that original and I don't have to start all over basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the one that I have on top. You can see that here. And I'm going to move it over a little bit. Now I want my shadow to be just on the side a little bit. And you can see that overlap that I'm leaving behind. That's going to be what I'm going to leave as my shadow. And I've moved that circle a little bit. Now I'm going to select the other circle. And I'm going to be using the shape builder tool. Now basically with the shape builder tool, in very brief, is everything you have selected, any overlapping shapes, you can combine them or take them apart. I have another video that goes more in depth into the shape builder tool. And so what I'm going to do is I want to leave this part behind. So I'm going to hold down Alt and I'm going to drag a line through the parts I don't want. So that's going to get rid of those. And you'll see now that I'm just left with that curve because I destroyed the other two. This is why I have my original. And now you can see that they're the same color. So right now it's not doing anything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my shadow and I'm going to double click on its color. I'm going to lower the brightness. So I'm going to take this down. I usually go 5 or 10. And so you can see that darken, and when I click off of it, you can see it implies that line because it's just a slightly darker tint of the original red. And now we could do that same thing for making a highlight. I'm going to move this one down and then select the second layer, go to my shape builder tool and remove it, and then I'm left with this curve. And going back to the black arrow tool, I'm going to brighten it a little bit. Now that looks okay, and in some cases that's what I would want, but with how I've done this, this middle part feels very flat because it feels almost like a button instead of like a ball. I want to imply more of the roundness, so in this case I probably wouldn't want this highlight like this. Another thing that you can do is light, when it reflects off of round surfaces, it shows up a lot like a circle on the surface. So I just made a circle with the ellipse tool, and now I'm going to twist it just outside the corner, and now I'm going to drag it over here. And now it implies that light is bouncing off, but that this is more of a round shape. And so that's a basic introduction into light and shadow with vector graphics. I hope that helps you out.